Hi, everybody. So glad you could stop in and talk with us today for a little while. I've got a couple of thoughts I'd like to share with you. I was reading in 1 Corinthians the other day in my Bible. That's a letter that Paul wrote to the church at Corinth to help them understand better how to grow and really become what God wanted them to be. And here's the verses that I was reading from chapter 10 the other day. It says, "Therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed, lest he fall. No temptation has overtaken you except such as is common to man, but God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, but with the temptation will also make the way of escape, that you may be able to bear it." You know, one of the biggest problems that all of us have in our life is the temptation to do what's wrong, to sin. Those things grieve God and damage our relationship with Him, and they have bad effects for us too. The Bible tells us that we have choices to make in life, and when we choose to do what's right, we choose blessing, and good things happen in our lives. When we choose to do things that are wrong, there's our judgments that are built in that come. Results of that might be in our broken relationships with others. It might be in the unhappiness that results in our lives, and it can be any number of things. But the author of 1 Corinthians, who is the Apostle Paul, assures us that we need to be careful. It says, take heed when you stand, lest you will fall. In other words, don't be proud or think, hey, I've got it all together. Instead, just kind of be cautious and understand the temptations that can come our way. Sometimes they even sneak up on us. But the marvelous message that's here is that the temptations we have, no matter how strong they may be, are the ones that are actually common to all of us. We all have wrong desires, and Satan likes to tempt us to do things that are wrong. But God has provided a way that we can overcome that temptation. One more thing I want to say about this verse. We have a saying that we sometimes repeat that actually isn't in the Bible. Like if somebody's going through several hard things come their way or something like that, we'll say, well, God never gives us more than we can handle. And that's actually not in the Bible anywhere. Maybe it might be that they kind of read this verse and got it wrong, and didn't understand what that means. Actually, as far as hard things in our lives and difficulties that come, that's not temptation. Temptation is my desire to sin and do things that I shouldn't. When I have struggles or difficult things or just hard circumstances in my life, God hasn't promised that He wouldn't give us more than I can handle, because what I need is His strength. He has promised that He'll be with us. Well, there's nothing that can come our way that's beyond what God can handle. But rather than us saying, well, I'm going to get strength from God and I'll power through this, it's like coming to the end of ourselves and saying, God, I really need you. I need you to be with me in this. I want you to know, God, I can't handle this on my own, and that's why I need you so much. And in fact, when the Apostle Paul himself had physical affliction and prayed for God to take it away, and he didn't, he said that God's message to me was, my grace is enough for you. It's sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness. So understand, rather than pretending that we're strong and we can handle anything, far better for us to go to God and say, God, I really need you. I need you to see me through the difficulties and struggles that come in my life. I need you to help me overcome my temptation, because you've promised that there's a way of escape if I will just lean on you. So you think about that during the week ahead.